Well, we're joined here today with Miss Mary Norris, and we're going to talk about a homicide that happened, and the anniversary is coming up on April 12th, and the homicide involved your son, Fredricko. First of all, can you just tell us who he was as a person?
Well, my son was a person that had a lot of life, enjoyed singing, dancing, and most of all, he enjoyed his two daughters.
Two daughters. What were their names? How old are they?
Okay, one of them is Ree, she's 10, and one of them is Zyree, which is 12. And he would always say, I love them to the moon and back. They was the centerpiece of his life.
How are they doing now?
Well, Sunday, they seem to be doing okay.
Considering
That they're used to their father bringing them Easter basket, and then yet they would have to go out to the cemetery.
Cemetery, right?
Yeah.
How old was he?
Now Fredricko was 31.
31.
He was 31 when he was murdered.
Can you walk us through that night?
It is pretty much a mystery because we have no answers, no closure, not even a reason why. I was personally told of someone that may have murdered my son.
Right. Well, let's if we could. I know it's difficult, but it's almost 2 years to the date that you got the call. Did someone call you? And
Actually,
tell you something?
someone. I received a phone call exactly about 2:30, between 2:30. But my son was announced dead approximately 2:06 a.m. And maybe 30 minutes later, I received a call saying that Fredricko has been shot.
Okay.
And I was like, shot? And they was like, yes, he was shot over here at Tiki Lane, which is no more than 5 minutes from where I live. And when I get to Tiki Lane, you would have never known anything taking place out there.
So by the time you got to Tiki Lane, there was no indication of anything happening.
No yellow tapes, everything was dark.
So why it had moved?
Then I get another call saying, come to Tom Thumb on 29.
Okay.
So when I made it to Tom Thumb, which I wasn't allowed to go and view the body, it was just covered with a sheet, and that's that's like the ending of his life, but yet it's the beginning of his family needing answers.
Right. Totally
Wanting
different
answer.
chapter of your life.
It's a whole chapter,
mess.
whole nother.
When you got that phone call, did you believe it?
You know what? When I got the call, I didn't scream. I didn't even yell. I was like, shot. Then I get a call and say, he's dead. And I'm like, dead? So I called my oldest son. Because my oldest son, he was a brother. He was a brother, but he also was someone that he can go to, like a best friend that he could just tell him anything.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, did you hear that Fredricko was shot? And he said, Mama, who told you that? And I said, well, I just got a call. And it just has been a mess.
Right.
It's been almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
And we're working on the case on this side of it. Are you hearing anything out there? Are you wanting people to speak up? I mean,
I would love for
somebody knows something.
There's nothing done in darkness
Right.
that won't come to the light. It's rather someone bring it, God to have his way of bringing it to the table.
Well, and when we investigate things, obviously we put every available resource we can into investigating it, but we can't be everywhere. And obviously we weren't there at the time that it happened. So we oftentimes reach out to the public and we say, hey, if you know something, please say something, let us know. Call Crime Stoppers. You can do it anonymously. And the reason we're here is because we want people to know we are not giving up on this case. This is a terrible tragedy, something that obviously hit home to you. And we certainly appreciate you being here because people need to know
I appreciate
this is
being
not
here.
something you just read on the newspaper.
No,
This is real.
it's
This is
real.
personal, and you have lived with this every day
Every
for 2
day.
years.
Yes.
So if you can tell anyone that's viewing it any one thing or make one request, what would that be?
I would have to ask the one that murdered my son to let him know it may not have been okay, but it's all right. So please come forward. Or if there's someone that knows more about the case, whether it's a small piece of information that you may think not enough to give, please give it. Because there are cases that's been solved just from the string of someone's hair.
Right. And again, this has affected you and your family.
It has affected my family, loved one, the community, because he was born and raised right here in Pensacola.
He was one of our own.
He's one of our own. And most of all, his daughters. That's what hurts the most,
I bet.
his daughters.
Not a day goes by.
I mean, for them to come up without their father or seeing them going to prom or seeing they, graduate and all that was just cut short for them.
Yes.
And they don't understand.
And they may never understand because you may never understand. And
I still don't
oftentimes
understand.
we don't understand how
I
things like this
ask
happen.
God to lead me through, not my own understanding, because I don't. And I wasn't there.
There's a lot of times we hear these cases, we see them on the news, and it's something that's in our minds right there as it's happening. But people often forget that pain for the families of the victims
Never go away.
never goes away.
I mean, it seemed like as last year was harder than the day that we buried him.
Right.
This year was even harder because there's his daughters that are young and wanting their father, needing their father. And it hurt deep. And it hurt not just the parents of Fredricko, but his brothers and sisters and his grandparents. Oh my God, he loved his grandparents. He could never do nothing wrong in the sight of his grandparents.
That's the best thing about grandparents.
I know. I think I'm one of them.
Exactly. Well, and as the children and your grandchildren get older, it's going to be more difficult in many ways because they have a greater understanding of what they've lost, what's missing in their life.
And more
I
questions
noticed,
than answers.
Yeah.
You brought a picture in, and
I
it shows
did.
your son sitting on rocks, full of life.
Full of life. Full of life. Oh, he loved to dance. He was a praying young man. He was always thankful. Oh, he would be so thankful. I mean, you could give him a piece of bread. Lord, thank you. Yeah, he was something else. Very well missed and loved. It's just, we endure every day of thanking God to give us the strength to get through that day. And I want to say that to whoever killed him, if it's painful for the ones that loved him, it got to be painful and got to be hard for them as well to rest at night. Because there are nights I can't sleep. And I just don't see how they could be resting.
Right.
And I just wish they would come forward. There's no hatred in my heart because my son is forever gone. And I can't see the 31 years of the beauty that I have with him if I have hate in my heart. And I spoke with his father, and his father was like, Ruth, they call me Ruth. Ruth, I don't hate whoever killed our son. I just want them to come forward. And I just want, not just for me, we have a lot of families right here in Pensacola that are going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Right. Too many.
You know, we have a lot of
There's a
people
lot of grieving
that
mothers out
have
there.
been murdered, kidnapped, abducted. That we need answers. We need closures.
And that's what it's about. It's about closure. It's about finding out what happened, why it happened, and who did it. I mean, obviously that part is our responsibility. But we reach out to the public and we say, hey, we need your help. We need every piece of information that you have, even if you don't think it's significant. Even if it's really not anything, or someone else has probably told that information. Give us a call and let us know. Call Crime Stoppers. Again, you can do it anonymously because it's about closure for you, closure for his daughters. It's closure for our community.
For the community.
Yeah. So we can finally get to where in a place where we know what happened.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to share a little bit.
Thank y'all for
about
having
him.
me.
Thank you so much. We want to get this out there. And again, if you know anything about this case or have any information, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 433-STOP. Remain anonymous. Get that tip out there. We'd love to solve this case. Or you can call us at the Sheriff's Office at 436-9620. And again, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you all for having me.
Thank you.